Hello and welcome. Now, what a little treat we have for you today. This is going to be my review of the Benchmade. What is it? What's in this this little sleeve? It's a Benchmade Mini-Griptillian. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Here it is. We'll break down some specs first of all. The overall length, open that is 6.8 inches or 17.3 centimeters. The blade length is 2.9 inches or 7.3 centimeters, and the cutting edge is 2.8 inches or 7.1 centimeters. Now the weight is about 2.7 ounces or 78.2 grams. Okay, so this knife has been around for a while, made by Benchmade. It's a blue class knife. I think they have 3 classes now. This is still 2012. They have gold being their higher end knives, then they have blue and black. I think the only difference is black is mainly for kind of like the armed forces and you know, police enforcement, things like that. But that's the only difference really. I think they're all made in America, all of those classes. But specifically this knife, firstly we'll talk about the scales. On Benchmade's website, if you're interested, go on these knife manufacturers' websites, check these knives out yourself. If you can peel back all of the marketing spiel, there's some decent information there, but I'm going to try and give you it in this review. So the handle scales, they're called Velox. I think they're kind of a FRN. Very grippy. It's basically the same as its larger brother. I mean, this knife it's quite small. Probably a gentleman's folder. I don't think there is it's kind of like a 2012 gentleman's folder as opposed to like a 1940s one. I mean, I don't think you need to have you know, ebony scales and you know, lockback and brass and things like that for it to class as one. You know, it's the 21st century, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going off on a lot of tangents because I've got a lot to cover. But the scales are Velox, and inside it does have the steel liners in there. I don't know if you can see, just see a little bit. They're in there, and they're not really skeletonized, okay, but they are in there. What differs is with the larger Griptillian model, they're kind of half in there, but these go nearly all the way to the front there. Okay, so yeah, it's very grippy. You've got jimping everywhere. It's an explosion of jimping. You've got jimping on the blade, got jimping on the spine of the handle. You've got some grip there, and on the bottom, and on the choil area. Okay, so very grippy knife, grippy handles. When you hold it, you definitely won't forget that it's there. Okay, the pocket clip is it's only tip up carry only. As you can see, it is reversible though, however, so you can have it on left or right pocket, whatever you wish. The deployment, very quick. I have lubed this up. It's you can use the thumb studs, dual thumb studs there, or you can, there we go, just shake it out. I mean, you can pull the axis and just flip it out like that. I mean, you know, take your pick really. There's plenty of ways of deploying this knife. Remember, any knife deployed really quick in public could, you know, it could frighten anybody. So just bear that in mind. However, I like all the options for deployment of this. You can really open it whichever way you prefer. And speaking of that, the locking mechanism is very secure in there. It uses their kind of painted axis lock mechanism, which is basically you pull this bar down and then that releases the blade, and then you let go and it locks it in there. Very secure lock. I have never had it fail, but I've never put it under an awful lot of stress. Okay, and the blade steel, well, let's talk about the design really. It's a Mel Pardue or Pardue design. It's got the patent number. That's the steel, the 154 cm. It's very good steel, very dependable. Hardness of about 58 to 61, if that means anything to you. The shape of it is a modified drop point. It's a very nice, useful shape, that, and it came very, very sharp. My other, the larger one, the Griptillian, came sharp, so you don't really need to worry too much about using this straight out of the box. The ergonomics, I think I mentioned a little bit. It's very grippy. It's got plenty of jimping and things. Grip wise, I'd say your pinky, it fits all the fingers, but your pinky probably halfway just rides there, so it kind of half rides on there, whereas the full size it accommodates your whole hand. But just something to note, that it half accommodates your pinky there. Okay, saying that, it's very comfortable still, and I actually prefer it to the larger one. Yeah, you know, shock horror. Some people may prefer the larger model of this, but I don't know why, I can't put my finger on it, but I just prefer this one. Okay, because it is a locking knife, it would count as a fixed blade here in the UK, so this is not legal to carry, unfortunately. I'll do some size comparisons. So this is the Benchmade Mini-Griptillian. I do have the larger model that I have kept banging on about throughout this review, which is the Benchmade Griptillian. Look at the size difference, you see. It's yeah, it's just a mini version, really. Of course, the handles, it's not a direct comparison video, but it's just a size one. But the grip there is just a finer texture, rather than using the same grip studs or what have you on the larger model. And then for size comparison, I always do it. The Spyderco Tenacious there, Tenacious is a bit larger, and the Spyderco UK PK. It's actually, looks to me to be about the same size, probably a little bit shorter. Yeah, probably a little bit shorter. And then probably its largest competition, I'd personally say, is a Spyderco Delica. They're both very similar knives. I'd love to do a comparison video between these two, like a versus video. But that size comparison with those two, they're both very similar knives, for the size and the price and things. But I'll probably do another video about that another time. Speaking of the price, I think this runs at about £60 in the UK, and the larger model runs at about 70. So it's quite a pricey knife in terms of knives, but you are paying for a really nice design, really nice blade steel, comfortable. The handle scales, I don't know why, but they don't feel as cheap to the touch as the larger one, the larger model. But yeah, it's definitely, you can just feel the quality and time and effort that's gone into making this knife and designing this knife. I think it's an excellent quality knife with great ergonomics and very dependable blade steel. It comes in lots of different colours and blade shapes, serrations, things like that. So do look around and kind of pick your favourite, I suppose. Anyway, that's the video. If you enjoyed it, please comment, rate and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.